So I wanted to ask you, did you get to see this past weekend's matches go down in Canada with Matt Mask and Jordan Tsonev?
I didn't get to see it. On the weekends are tough sometimes, depending on my schedule with my kids, but I did get the Cliff Note version of it.
What was your thoughts on that? Were you surprised at all hearing that Jordan Tsonev was so dominant? He had 2 wins. He had one against Mike Gold, a left arm, and he swept him dominantly. And then he went against Matt Mask and same thing, swept him. And I think a lot of the people out here in the United States were pretty shocked by it. I wasn't so much shocked just because I know where Jordan Tsonev comes from. You know, he trains with the Bulgarians. He's Krasimir Konstantino's training partner. And I've been hearing great things about him. I've seen him in East versus West and all. So, you know, I was a little disappointed because, you know, I thought Matt was going to come back and really, you know, show us what he got and, you know, possibly get a win. But then to see the way Jordan was that day, I was like, wow, that kid Jordan. What is your thoughts on this kid Jordan Tsonev?
So the whole thing with Matt Mask is a 2-part thing. I think that we'll talk about Jordan, and I know a bit about him, but losing to him is zero shame.
Yeah.
Zero shame. I think that Matt is still an elite guy. He's losing to other elite guys, but it is kind of a slippery slope because where people have such a regard for Devin, you know, they put him up there where they think even now this form of Devin is going to go be Levon, and they get caught up in his training videos and, you know, he's a magnetic person and people love him, and maybe he is there. And then Devin has a kinship with Matt. You know, they YouTube together, they kick it together. He calls him his little brother. And I think when it maybe Devin really believes it because Matt's style is problematic for Devin, and maybe he feels more problems from Matt than he does all these guys who are beating him, just stylistically. But I do think that that Devin turns up the volume a little bit, which in turn gives his buddy, keeps him in the mix, even if he keeps losing. It's like, oh, Matt right now is going to kill everybody. Now, whether that's what Devin really feels or he's trying to throw his buddy a bone so he can collect a paycheck, get back in the limelight and whatnot, I don't know what that is, but I think there's a little bit of both. And, I mean, to move on to Jordan, no, because I just thought he was going to be flat out stronger than Matt. And even if he got the hand to go flat, you know, there's no mystery that every single person in that training camp in Bulgaria, they're lightweight guys, they're heavyweight guys, they're middleweight guys, they're all world champs. And when you are in that kind of a mix, it's, you know, the birds of a feather flock together. If you hang around and all your friends are thugs and they're all selling drugs and they're all carrying guns, I fucking promise you're going to get caught up in a hairy situation someday. You are going to be one of those dudes at some point in time, you know? So those guys by nature or nurture or whatever, they're finding the recipe, and he's one of the top dicks in Bulgaria. You know, he's a 220-pound guy that's killed it at Zloty, killed it at A1, killed it at WAF many times. And it's not that I have that Euros are better than us, but their programming is better than us. They are arm wrestlers, and that's what they do. We are fucking everything else, and then we try our best to be arm wrestlers. You know what I mean? We're like,
our guys have full-time jobs, and this is kind of like a hobby to them, where over there, their full-time job is arm wrestling.
Right. And I mean, you can pull those wins off against those guys. Jordan was the guy that I was supposed to get set up with at one point in time. And, you know, I'm not surprised based on the guys that have given Matt trouble. I'm not surprised by the result. And for reasons, like I said, I do think that if you go by like what Devin says, Devin's great and he's got a great knowledge and insight to the sport, but he's also a horrible predictor at who's going to win and kill who and beat who. He also said that Matt was going to not just beat Todd Hutchings, he was going to like basically blow him off the stage and retire him. And Matt didn't even come close to getting a pin. I mean, he flattened him and got him here, but once Todd stopped it, he surged like one surge. And I think that Matt has a problem with good sticky arms.
What happens between a match between you and Jordan Tsonev? You know, I'm talking about when you're 100%. I'm talking like round May.
Yeah, if I'm in good shape, I think I'm in that match for sure. I think that that's a match stylistically. I I'm a person that if I believe I'm in shape, I feel I'm in and can win any match that's put at me. And that's not being foolhardy. It's because I've pulled with the best guys that the world's produced, with the exception of some of the Europeans. I've pulled when Dave Chafee was on the top. I've gone down and practiced and pulled with Jerry and Tim Bresnan when Tim was the Tim who beat John Brzenk. I've pulled these guys in competitive environments, you know, Travis and Todd Hutchings and all these guys in different weight classes. So I don't think I would feel anything that would shock me. I'd feel a complete good puller, but I believe that it's a match that I could win.